Buonasera e benvenuti.
Good evening and welcome to this event held in this beautiful hall. My name is Giulio Cossu. I'm a researcher in the field of muscular dystrophy. I'm very pleased to introduce this event. I'd like to thank the President of the Republic of Italy for his support. President Giorgio Napolitano honored us with a personal message. To the organizers and guests of this conference, I send my true appreciation and wish you complete success in your work. We are now going to hear from Dr. Bahia Zanan from Lebanon.
Good evening for everyone. It's a pleasure and an honor for me to be here. My name is Bahia Zanan, and I came from my beloved country, Lebanon. I am a sociologist, and I have been studying human relations for a long time. For many years, I have strived to manifest peace in my own life and in my interaction with other people, whatever their nationality, religion, or beliefs may be. Last summer, I was in Beirut. As you all know, the sky started pouring bombs, and a terrible conflict caused massive bloodshed and destruction on both sides of the border. To my great amazement and comfort, the peace that I had been cultivating within myself all these years did not disappear when the bombs started coming down. Make no mistake about it, I was conscious of my safety and took the necessary precautions. I called the people I knew there every day. I felt closer to them than ever before. I felt friendship, love for them, and in return, they felt the same towards me. Instead of looking at differences in ideology or religious faith, I saw individuals who worried about the safety of their loved ones just like I did. We were there for each other and exchanged care and support. We prayed together to the bloodshed would stop and that we could visit each other and experience good times together. Keeping this spirit of dignity and peace alive in the midst of war has been a life-transforming experience for me. I feel very strongly that this all was possible thanks to Prem Rawat's message and to the spirit of peace that he has consistently inspired me to keep alive within myself. While so much in this world is pointing towards our differences, creating distrust and separation, he has inspired people to look at similarities over differences, and in particular at our deepest similarity, our need for peace. I cannot put in words how great an impact his message has had on how I look at life and other people. And it stayed with me as bombs kept falling, is testimony to the profound significance of this message. I am grateful to Prem Rawat for his passion and determination to help people realize that peace is possible. And I am grateful for this opportunity to share my experience with this distinguished audience.
Vorrei ora dare il benvenuto al
I now
senatore
would like to
Vita,
welcome Senator for Life President Colombo,
che è stato tra i principali
one of the main
sostenitori di questa
supporters of this initiative.
Grazie alla sua lunga esperienza
Because of his long
nel favorire il
experience in
superamento dei
promoting the
confini
removal
politici e
of political
culturali,
and cultural
e grazie alla sua
barriers,
passione per il tema della pace,
and because of his
egli
passion
ci
for
offrirà
peace,
ulteriori
he will
spunti di
give us further
riflessione
topics
e
to
ci
reflect
introdurrà poi
upon,
l'intervento
and
di
then
Prem
introduce Prem Rawat.
Gentili signore e signori,
Dear ladies and gentlemen,
carissimo signor Prem Rawat,
dearest Mr. Prem Rawat,
io sono grato perché ancora una volta
I'm very grateful because once again I have been given the honor
quello che sarà il centro del nostro incontro,
to introduce the central part of our event, Mr. Prem Rawat's address on the subject of peace.
Devo confermare che la parte,
I must say
l'aspetto più
that the most
originale
original part
dei suoi colloqui
of the talks
sulla
on
pace,
peace
quelli che egli va svolgendo
that Prem Rawat holds in every part of the world,
qualunque sia la lingua
whatever language is
che ivi
spoken,
si parla, la parte più essenziale,
the most essential part is not,
come potrebbe essere
as it would
in un
be
uomo
for a
politico,
politician,
come io sono
as I
stato
was and
e
I
sono
still am,
tuttora, quello degli accordi
the agreements
tra gli
between
Stati,
states,
quello di spegnere
extinguishing
i
the
focolai
fires
di
of
guerra,
war
di far tacere
and silencing the
armi.
weapons.
Ma la parte più interessante
Instead,
della sua dottrina,
the
e
most
quindi
remarkable part of his
dei
message
pensieri
that
che
he
egli
shares
comunica è questo:
is this:
se vuoi la pace
if you want
nel mondo,
world peace,
cercala prima di tutto
first look for it
dentro di
inside of you.
te. E del resto sembra che abbia
It actually
scritto
seems that it
lui.
was he,
Dico sembra, non è
even
così.
though we know it wasn't,
Quello, il preambolo della
who wrote the
Costituzione
preamble to the UNESCO
dell'UNESCO,
Constitution,
che dichiara:
which declares
poiché le guerre hanno origine
that since
nella
wars
mente
begin in the
degli
minds of
uomini,
men,
è nella mente degli uomini
it is in the minds of men that the defenses of peace
devono
must
essere
be
costruite.
constructed.
Ho sentito il rappresentante
I was listening to the delegate speaking on behalf of Israel,
con una vena di
his words
malinconia.
veiled by a streak of melancholy.
Sembra che talvolta si spenga
Listening to his
il
words,
desiderio di pace.
it really felt that sometimes, in such difficult negotiations, the desire for peace dwindles.
Se si spegnesse
If that desire for peace really weakened in the soul of man, the desire that the caring representative from Lebanon expressed earlier on behalf of her country, the fact that she could preserve that feeling even when bombs were falling from the sky, that not even fear could overshadow that inner balance. Well, if inner peace, the desire for peace, faded away in those lands still so tormented by war, then yes, we would have reasons to give in to pessimism. And this is what Prem Rawat points out to us.
ci fa piacere,
We are very
che
glad
per la
that he
terza
has come
volta
here for
viene
the third time,
ma ci fa ancora più piacere che egli giri
and we are even
il
more
mondo
thankful that he travels the world
diffondendo questa
spreading
sua
his message.
idea, e cioè cercare la pace
That is,
prima di
looking for
tutto
peace, first of all, by finding an inner balance in the soul of each human being.
la pace nella visione
To look for
e
peace in
nell'equilibrio
an inner vision and
interiore
balance
delle varie anime che si combattono
amongst
entro
all
di
the
noi,
forces
dei
and
vari
various
istinti che
instincts
si combattono
fighting within us.
Mi fa piacere che questa
I'm glad
esposizione, questo
that this
discorso
presentation,
o questi
this speech,
sentimenti che Prem Rawat
and the
solleciterà
feelings
in
that
noi
Prem Rawat will
avvengano
evoke in us
alla presenza di rappresentanti
is taking
di
place
due
in
popoli
front of delegates
che in questo
from two of the
momento
countries
vivono in quella
in the
tormentata
tormented
zona del
areas
Medio
of the Middle East.
E cosa vorrei augurare? Che ciascuno
My wish would be that
dei popoli in
all the
conflitto
groups involved in the conflict
ritrovasse lo spirito
could find the
che
spirit evoked
sollecita
by Prem Rawat,
ritrovasse in sé
could find in themselves the balance needed to bring to an end the ethnic contrasts, the differences between people and their interests, the ancient hatred,
e convincersi che solo se
that only from within our soul, from the soul of every person, once we have realized the solidity of peace, we can look at others with love. Then peace can become a reality. Did I understand you well, Prem Rawat? Did I interpret you well? If I did, I'm very, very glad.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to be here today. I'm not going to take too long, but I do have a message that I think may benefit some of you. As you all have heard, I travel a lot. I talk to people about peace. Just recently, I was in Calcutta, and we had a conference of the young people who are going through an official course, because one of the things that they discuss in this course is peace, the possibility of peace. So for me, an opportunity to address them, and then they got to ask questions. And one thing that I saw is that so many people have different interpretations of what peace is. Now, what do I talk about? What do I offer people? It is very easy and simple to use an analogy of a lamp. To see lit lamps of peace on the borders of Beirut, on the borders of India and Pakistan, Beirut, Israel, Palestine, whatever it may be. But peace is a little more than just lit lamps. And that's what we have to consider. If you take a lamp, the body is made out of clay. On that sits a wick made out of cotton. And in the bowl sits the oil. Now, when you see a lamp that is lit, what is it the courtesy of? You have to consider, what is it the courtesy of? If you light the wick, it'll only burn for a few minutes, most, and then it'll go out. If you try to light the body, you won't be able to light it. It's made out of clay. So if you want the lamp to stay lit and give light for a long, long time, what do you require? You require oil. Oil that you may not actually see, because all you see is the light. And you think it's the wick that is lit. And yet, all the time, it was the oil that was helping the wick to stay lit so it could give the light. Okay? Very simple analogy. What does it mean? It means that there is a piece that is not just a piece of surface, not just a piece of ideas, not just a piece of conditions, but a piece that goes far beyond all those things. In fact, the piece that we need to get in touch with and the piece that we should be discussing in the world today, around the world today, is the piece whose reflection we would like to see in the borders of the nations. People not fighting each other. That's just a reflection. That's not the real thing. That's a consequence. That will happen because something happened. A mother would like to see her child smile. It's a wonderful feeling. A father would like to see his child smile. And how should the mother go about that? Take the cheeks and go, so the child is sitting there like that. Take a piece of wood and stick it between the lips. Or maybe put two little clothing pins on each side so the child is always smiling. What? And you see, this is what we are trying to do. We have created a qualification for peace, and that is no wars. So we say, no wars, that's peace. No wars is a consequence of something, like war is a consequence of something. No war is a consequence of something. And the consequence is when people, human beings, not Mr. So-and-so, not this person only, but human beings, every one of us can feel that feeling of peace within us. That's what it'll take. If you want to light this room, how do you do it? Simple. You light the bulbs. Each one of these bulbs is a human being on the face of this earth. And if you want peace on this face of this earth, you will have to light these lamps called human beings. India is on its way. Every Indian is looking forward to being rich. This is it. Now they don't care. Now they just want to be rich. And every Indian wears a little boy, big shot, little shot, doesn't matter. They just want to be rich. Economics, 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 economics. And then, I was just there. 40 degrees Celsius. 40 degrees Celsius at 8 o'clock in the morning. And everybody is standing under the tree. Rich or not rich, wanting to be rich or not wanting to be rich, everybody wants to be in shade. Because of all our aspirations that we have, there are fundamental needs that we have. And unless those fundamental needs are fulfilled, it really doesn't matter. What have we done? For tomorrow, we have traded today. Today was spent planning for tomorrow. Today is gone. Tomorrow, we will wait. We will go to sleep. We will wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow will never come because today will come. Not today, but today will come. Because tomorrow always comes as today. And then what will happen? And how will tomorrow be spent? Planning for tomorrow. The world is in a rut. We have traded peace for prosperity when the formula always has been peace first. Peace, then prosperity. Not prosperity, then peace. And think about that. The world thinks that all we need is prosperity. All we could do is if everybody had food, everything will be fine. We still have our needs. Not too long ago, there was a project opened up in Ranchi, in India. This is a particular area that belongs to the Aboriginals who live there, the natives. And they're extremely poor. So poor that I cannot begin to describe. They are so poor that they steal food from the rats. This is how poor they are. Rats usually build a nest, store food in it. The children go, dig up the rat's nest to find food. So I was there a few years ago, and I said, let's open up a place where we can feed these children a decent meal. Decent meal. Meal that they can eat because it is their native food. When we go to different countries, we want to talk in native tongue. We want to wear native clothes sometimes. But we forget that people need native food that they can eat. So we built a facility, really clean, really beautiful, super clean food, very hygienic. Once a day, the meal is given out. I had the opportunity to see the system in operation. 400 kids, 350 to 450 kids on average every day get fed there. Not only that, we just opened it up, one meal a day for adults. After 20 days or so that the program was on for the adults, these old people came and they said, thank you very much for having this food. Now we feel strong enough to go back to work. And I said, that's it. That's what we wanted. I went there at the time when the kids were coming, and it was so beautiful. They would come in, They had their whole place. They would wash their hands. They would dry their hands. They would march in. They would grab their thali, which is like a plate. They would offer it, get food put on it. They would sit down. They would eat, and then they would leave. Simple as that. Very quick, very efficient. And some of them would go for twice. And I was standing there looking at these children, looking at their faces, because I thought personally they would all be huge. You know, like big, just little head and huge bodies. It was not the case. And each one of them was enjoying a meal that they really liked. It was their Indian food, their rice, their dal. And TPRF has done a wonderful job in that area. It is the pride and joy of all the villagers, and it is the pride and joy of all the officials in that. They all come there to see it because it is a really nice, beautiful facility. And I said to myself that even though these people have food, and they are grateful for that food, they still want peace in their life. It is evident. It is evident. I do not tell them that I talk about peace. They do not know that I talk about peace. I am not there to give them food and then persuade them to follow me. I don't want that. I give them food. This is courtesy of TPRF and all the people who support it. For me, without that peace, even those projects would be only half fulfilled. Somehow in our lives, we need to have that value, the value that is not biased by religion, because that divides us. Today, there are so many people being killed in the name of God that it is not even funny. It is not even funny. And everybody claims there is only one God. And then everybody says, our God. This is not funny. Something that has been the quest of every single civilization on the face of this earth. The thirst for that lies within you. The thirst for that lies within you, and the reality that that peace is also within you. And where do you begin? Not with something on the outside, but begin with yourself. Every day, not trading today for tomorrow, but respecting what today means to you. Respecting and understanding what today means to your heart. The moment that you are alive, what it means to you. What does it mean to you, that one moment that you are alive? Because believe me, your life is like a necklace. And in this necklace, it is one moment, another moment, another moment, another moment, another moment, another moment, put together. Simplicity. Simplicity of being alive. Simplicity of understanding. Simplicity of beginning with you, that you are the first step to understanding what it is all about. That peace begins with you, not with something else. For us, all our lives, things have begun from somewhere else. Somebody came and somebody initiated a process. But the process of peace begins with you. With you understanding the possibility that being alive brings. So much that happens in this world that attracts our attention. Maybe one other thing should attract our attention, and that's the possibility of peace. So much that happens in this world that distracts our attention. Maybe one thing